Whether you like Zuma or whatever, Zuma got right what the ANC and all of us failed to get right. He managed to basically half destroy the EFF. The ANC couldn't. That thing is finished, called EFF. I mean, like, it's finished. Let me tell you, they can talk. There's no ideology left. It's just insults that's left there. The people, the thinkers that's left, the thinkers that remain, I'm told confidentially, they're also on their way out.
And then, today I want to tell you, I want to thank the SABC and SuperSport, MultiChoice. I want to thank them openly. Because the most important rugby game, I went to them. We fought. I think they were very irritated with me. I fought so that every South African can watch that rugby game. But I didn't only fight. I learned from SABC. I learned from SuperSport. I learned from them. And what I learned from them is that it is our responsibility of government to make sure that our people get to watch these games. We can't put it on them. We must put it on us. So what I've done, they were telling me all those things. I said, yeah, we will talk. Let's just show this one on Saturday, and I'll go back. And today I want us to give SABC and SuperSport a hand, because SuperSport graciously said, let South Africa watch the game. And we did watch the game. But, you know, grassroots, we got to get involved in schools. We need to put, you can't blame the private schools. We need to emulate the private schools. We need to make sure that in cricket, the reason why you need a lot of developmental efforts by different coaches. We need to put coaches in schools, and hence we've signed that the government of national unity has prioritized school sport. The GNU has signed the memorandum for school sports. Under the GNU, Baba, we are moving.
And on the note of school sports then, is there an understanding between the Department of Education and Sport? Where's that intersection?
No, definitely. What we've done, we've already signed the memorandum of agreement between us. The MOU has already been signed. We are now going to, both of us, what we've signed is going to find expression in our budget. Because if there's no budgetary, and that's what happened in the past, they wrote the memorandums were there, but there was never money provided or provision being made. This time, in the next budget, you'll see school sport, so many millions. You can't produce nothing if you don't invest in school sport.
Does the Department of Education have a buy-in?
100%. We've got a very good education minister in Mrs. Khwarube. She's very good at what she's doing. She understands. We are in sync when it comes to that. We've got total buy-in from her. I didn't go to the Paralympics, and that's not an achievement not to go. And I'm still going to go to all the sporting events because that's government. Now you want to portray me as a person that's taking a joyride. That thing you can do as other ministers. You've chosen the wrong one. Because I'm flying first class all the time with my own money. And now I must fly business class. So it's not an upgrade for me, it's a downgrade. Locally, I fly like business class. But as a minister, you must fly economy class. The other day I was flying, was my partner. And she said, can't we book you? Because my knees are so long. Because I can't sit down and then I must stand up so that I can. But that's what the ministerial handbook demands of me. It demands of me to fly business class, to fly economy class locally. I fly twice a week and I fly economy class. Internationally, the ministerial handbook demands of me to fly business and not first class. I'm mentioning this so that people can know I've not done anything outside the ministerial handbook. I got there, I saw them saying, Mr. McKenzie, welcome, welcome, jump in the car. Now it's being acted like I'm sitting behind a computer and go to the different airlines, which things, there are people that are hired for those. Now, if you want to play politics, it's fine. But don't play politics only with me. if I have to account, which I'm doing, we expect every minister to also account, because this is important to all of you. We need women to be paid the same as men. And that is one of the things, as the minister, that I've said to myself. I'm very proud of this team. That's why I came here today. We have one of the best teams in the world. I mean, it was just bad luck, but they've done well. They've done us proud, and they're our girls, man. They're the best.
If you say equal pay, what's the financial challenges for achieving that? Is it as easy as...
So we must leave that thing saying financial challenges when it comes to men. But by men's sport we pay. We don't talk about financial challenges. When it comes to women that must be paid, we talk about financial challenges. We should work our things in this fashion that men and women get paid the same. And I'm going to fight for that. I'm not going to listen to stories about we are but financially castrated. There's never a right time to do the right thing. And the right thing to do is now. And the right thing to do, and I'm going to pressurize sporting codes. And I've been meeting with cricket, and I mean my Department of Sport, Arts and Culture has been giving money for this particular team to be developed, and you see what happened. So my next fight is not professionalization, because the previous minister fought for them to be professionalized. It happened. Look at the results. The next fight is equal pay in sport for women and men. I mean, they both entertain, they both play, they both risk the same injuries. Why is it that there's a discrepancy? I'm not going to listen to nonsense of, no, we can't do this. When are we going to do this if we can't do it now? Then we must then put a freeze on male salaries in order for women to, on male increases, in order for women to get the same. The issue of the Springbok, they say the Springboks are being, the Springboks are being sold, all those things. I think I just want to bring context, because I saw other political parties say I didn't even know about it. I was sleeping on the job. You see, hey, Floyd must come back. What I want to say, 3 months ago, SARU met with me, and they presented the deal to me to say, this is what we want to do. We need money. There's no money in SA Rugby. Most rugby unions around the world and federations are experiencing a cash crisis. When I looked at the deal, I said to them, we will meet in 1 week. They came in 1 week. I said to them, there's something I don't agree with on the deal. There's no South Africans in this deal. They said, thank you, Minister. We will come back to you. They then came back. And he said, Minister, we have included South Africans now in the deal. The law of FIFA and the International Rugby Federations, you can't interfere in soccer and in rugby. You can do it on a certain level. So I can only urge, but I can't truly, fully instruct, because that might be deemed as interference, and then you get banned. Many years ago, I was wrong. I was one of the people that wanted the Springbok emblem to be removed. Until the Afrikaners fought for the Springbok emblem to remain, because it was important to them. And I was on the other side. And Nelson Mandela came, and he convinced all of us that you must never change a name to hurt people. Because I wanted to change the name to hurt white people. Now, if the Springboks still remain, and we manage to have empathy for the pain of the people that loved the Springboks then, today we all love the Springboks. So they will also love Robert Sobukwe Airport or whatever rename that we have. We can't be listening to racists. That one I will never do. We can't be told by a racist that wants to remain, that wants this street, Eugene de Kock Street. How can we allow that, like we are not in power? No, we can't. So names will be changed, but it should not be done as a revenge. The Springboks, some of us wanted to revenge, but Mandela taught us, and their teachings are still with us today. Thank you. My first trip as a minister, the first one as a minister, not as a person, as a minister, was to the Olympics. I came a week before the Olympics start. I attended 6 different meetings. I attended a meeting with the Minister of Azerbaijan. I attended a meeting with the African ministers. I've attended a meeting with the Commonwealth ministers. I've attended the opening ceremony. I've also attended a meeting standing in for the Minister of Police, where they had all the police there. So I had 6 meetings I had to attend. Now, before the opening ceremony, the rugby already started, for those that don't know. So I went to go and watch the 7th rugby. Then when the Olympics started, I sat in the rain so that our athletes also can have somebody screaming for them there. And then I realized, because I was so excited for this new job I want to learn, I'm going to come back. I'm probably the only minister in the world of sport that was not at the Olympics. Now, where do you get the joyriding from? So I want to make it very clear. I came back, not because I was forced to come back. There was nothing wrong me being there. Now he's going to sporting events. That's my job. Do you want me to go look at cabbages and the agriculture? That is the job of Mr. John Steenhuisen, to look at the farms. You can't. That's my job, to go to sporting events. So every day is Heritage Day, every day. Because you can't rid yourself of your heritage or your culture. But we have one day in the year where we celebrate Heritage Day. But every day is Heritage Day. Every day is a cultural day. But one day we celebrate, and that day is today. Today we are showing the world who we are and what we've become. We are showing the world that we come from the tragedy of apartheid. But look at us today. We are one nation under God. We are a melting pot of different cultures. We are a diverse nation. That's what today is about. And we are celebrating, most importantly, our heroes and heroines that laid their life down for the freedom that we are all enjoying today. So this freedom, it didn't come easy. People died for this freedom, and we should respect and honor and appreciate that.
Talk to us about the importance of ensuring that, this service, especially when it comes to promoting heritage of other provinces such as the Free State, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, but also ensuring that there's a lot of investment that is allocated towards those provinces to promote their own heritage, such as where we are today. How do we then move outside Gauteng, outside Cape Town, in terms of promoting heritage sites?
Now, you know what? Let me be the first to admit, there has been a disappropriate allocation of resources to the different provinces in order to promote heritage sites, in order to make sure that cultural identities are being reawakened. But I can assure you, under the GNU, that's going to change. I'm here today because the president gave me my marching orders, my line of march. The marching orders he gave us as ministers is to do things better and differently. And we are going to do things differently. I, for instance, was told in no uncertain terms to say that resurrect the museums, resurrect the sites. Make sure that you fix the sites that are derelict. So that's my orders from President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa. And I have to follow the line of march.
Yeah. Following the line of march, you're coming into a community that is lacking a lot of basic services. You might not be responsible for them, but as someone who's bringing or who's leading, especially at the executive level, these celebrations, if people are saying, we don't have roads, we don't have water, how are you going to address that in your cabinet? Because you'll have to take that message to the cabinet. How are you feeling about those issues people here are faced with daily?
No, I must be the first to admit that I've seen the problems people are faced with here. But I'm also the first to tell you that it is business unusual under the GNU, the government of national unity. Re tlo bona change, ons gaat verandering sien. Dintlo di tlo change. Re tlo bona diphetogo under the government of national unity. It's not going to be easy. We're not going to fix this in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. But people are going to see the efforts that's being put in. We are all being told that be resolute in changing the lives of our people. And that's what we are going to do in the Government of National Unity. Government of National Unity, Government of National Unity, Government of National Unity is the future of change in this country, lasting change. What we have achieved as the Government of National Unity, the Government of National Unity.
There's been an outcry, Minister, about the lack of the presence of the private sector in terms of funding our heritage history in South Africa, but also playing their part in terms of reviving heritage sites across the country. How concerning is that, and what role do you see the private sector playing in terms of the revival of our heritage in South Africa?
No, the private sector has been unfairly blamed. You can't give people money and they can't account for that money. You know, private sector are willing to play their part. I come from the private sector. I know what I'm talking about. You can't give people money and they are unwilling to account. We as government officials, we need to engage the private sector. I am restarting these negotiations for them to plow money back in. And I can tell you, I've seen a willingness, I've seen an eagerness, I've seen an excitement from them.
Thank you very much, Mr. for your time.
Thank you, thank you.
You can go and enjoy yourself.
What we've done, we've already signed the memorandum of understanding, the memorandum of agreement between us. The MOU has already been signed. We are now going to, both of us, what we've signed is going to find expression in our budget. Because if there's no budgetary, and that's what happened in the past, they wrote the memorandums were there, but there was never money provided or provision being made. This time, in the next budget, you will see school sport, so many millions. You can't produce nothing if you don't invest in school sport.
Does the Department of Education have a buy-in?
100%. We've got a very good education minister in Mrs. Khwarube. She's very good at what she's doing. She understands. We are in sync when it comes to that. We've got total buy-in from her. I've got a buy-in. And as you know, it's never going to gather dust. I'm not a type of minister that signs stuff that gathers dust. I'm an action man, and that is going to find expression. Look at what the woman has done. Remarkable. Do you know when they beat Australia? For me, this final was neither here nor there. They have made us happy by beating Australia.
Do we have timelines on how we're going to handle these school sports and how things are going to be rolled out?
100%. We're starting in February next year. When the schools open, we are moving. We are not giving you dates. February next year, you will see school sport being different. Look at Walaza. Look, Walaza is the best example of what happens when you put money and resources, and that's what Kuru did. They begged Walaza. And I mean, like, you know that we need funding in sport. More funding. Corporates are willing to give money, but federations need to give corporates the assurance that the money will not go buy nice cars. The money will be used for development. I mean, Walaza, there was no money for him to go to the Youth Olympics. I had to jump in as the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture. 10 minutes before the flight closed, I had to come up with the money. And look at how many medals we got. Yes, ma'am.
How important is it for us to maintain that and even do better just to represent the regulation as it is in this country?
I think the mistake that we've made in the past, for 30 years we've made the same mistake. We all keep on asking, why is there no black people in the squad? Why is there no black people? You want equal outcomes, but you don't have equal access. Most black people here don't have pole vaulting at this school. Then you want to ask tomorrow, why is there no pole vaulting at the Olympics blacks? We must be honest that you can't expect black people to be a champion in pole vaulting, but there's no pole vaulting equipment at the school. Who's to blame for that? We, as government, we must fall on our sword and make sure we fix that. Swimming pool, we don't have a black Olympic swimmer because there's no swimming pools at the schools. And we must take responsibility instead of blaming people. We must take responsibility as leaders of this country. And we are fixing that. There must be pools. Have you seen how deep is the Olympic pool? Imagine you put somebody for the first time in days going around.
Yes, I think we are in trouble. And I say we, I think we are in serious trouble. I remember when I was on the Daily Maverick platform with John Steenhuisen, Sabisa, Mashaba. The question was asked by Stephen Grootes, what do you think about MK and Zuma's chances? All of them on that stage said, he's not a threat. He's not a threat. I then said to Stephen Grootes, the tapes are there. I said, they are all lying. They are not living in reality. Zuma's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Zuma's going to come in like a tornado. Well, the rest is history. Zuma has shown us. Now, if you think Zuma has come through like a tornado, he's going to come through in 2026 like a tsunami. Zuma is working day and night. Now, people that hate Zuma don't want to hear this, but we must be realistic about it. Zuma is bringing in, whether you call them state capture guys, whether you call them criminals, he's bringing people in with a following. And that's what politics is about. It's about the following. And Zuma is pulling everyone in here, the coup. To bring in Floyd Shivambu. That brains. We all know Zuma is, we can see how he's always with Floyd. Zuma is grooming Floyd. So people that say Zuma's old, he knows he's old. But while the ANC is still busy with 2027, instead of concentrating on 2026, the ANC is busy lobbying who must take positions. If they are not careful, Zuma is going to become the biggest party. And the GNU is the only thing that can stop Zuma, not the ANC, the GNU. If the GNU produces, if the GNU does well, if the GNU keeps to their promises and they change South Africa for the better, people will then say, but why do you change? You don't change a winning model. But if the GNU bickers and the GNU wants to play to the gallery and the GNU partners are fighting for each other, that's a gift to Zuma. Whether you like Zuma or whatever, Zuma got right what the ANC and all of us failed to get right. He managed to basically half destroy the EFF. The ANC couldn't. That thing is finished, called EFF. It's finished. Let me tell you, they can talk. There's no ideology left. It's just insults that's left there. The people, the thinkers that's left, the thinkers that remain, I'm told confidentially, they're also on their way out. So I'm saying to you that the DA and the ANC should stop put party first and should put country first. We are one of the fastest growing parties now. We've just won a by-election on Wednesday. We won a by-election against the ANC and the DA in George, or 20. So I'm not talking here as a party that's not growing. But you got to understand, we have to put South Africa first and put party second. Once you want to put your party position